Good morning. Just wanted to go ahead and take some time to go ahead and talk through working in diversity. How does it impact business operations? How does it impact me as a potential leader, as well as some guidelines that I would work on following? In my professional career, I've always made an attempt to go ahead and identify and work with people from other cultures as part of our organization. I do like to talk to them more on an individual basis first, as I just want to hear about their experiences, their cultural backgrounds, how they're able to go ahead and connect to our overall organization. I do feel that I'm able to go ahead and build this rapport pretty quickly throughout our organizations, as I do go ahead currently help lead one of our employee resource groups and have these guided hand-on approaches to talking about backgrounds, cultural experiences, especially when it comes to various and diverse organizations as well as various and diverse cultures. One of the things that I've really learned from this experience is how are we able to go ahead and identify the impact that cultures have on how employees interact with their leadership, how do they talk to their peers, how do they go ahead and share their opinions when they feel the most comfortable. This also goes hand in hand with the leading of an all-gender team. In the same regard of a different culture, different background, different genders process information differently. So I would go ahead and make sure I'm understanding the team emotions, understand how the team is processing the information I'm presenting to them, but also seeing how they're portraying that back to me. Is it through their verbal or nonverbal clues? I would also make sure to deliver messaging that shows both support and empathy towards the team versus strictly focusing on a team performance metric and more on an opportunity to share safe spaces. I would definitely use these general guidelines because it would help the team feel more comfortable, but it would also provide more feedback and feel more genuine. I do feel that building a safe space will allow all members of an organization to go ahead and feel connected if they're sharing about their cultures, either gender, racial, ethnic, or any sexual orientation concerns. It'll be more welcoming to share these because of having that opportunity to be more empathetic, lead through the verbal and nonverbal clues, and talk through the next steps together. As a result, I would also go ahead and focus more on if there's any potential conflicts. I would potentially focus more on resolving this conflict by understanding the source of the conflict, talking through the cultural differences within the conflict, especially if it was in a different country, because conflict resolution may look differently depending on where you are. So the US might handle it one way, and then in Japan it might handle it another way. But I would also want to go ahead and make sure that I took some time to listen and hear from all the employees that are in this conflicting concern and talk through it together, share opportunities, build out an open feedback session so we have more to talk through than just focusing on the conflict, but more on resolving it. For myself personally, I do feel that there are some skills that I do have that would help me lead a team, specifically in another country. I do feel that I'm able to go ahead and have a high emotional intelligence where I lean on my empathetic side. I do want to go ahead and connect with my employees more than just getting a goal across or getting a metric across. I want to hear from them as well on how are they feeling, how are they connected to this business, and what makes them feel more emotionally connected. Another strength that I do feel that I do have is how do I go ahead and bridge the gap between process and procedure and make sure that each employee feels this matches their skill set and then allows them to talk through their strengths and have them feel comfortable sharing to me how they can contribute to this team as a whole. And then lastly, it is very important to go ahead and have a diverse team. Working with people of different ages, incomes, genders, any diverse category, the best way to work through it is just to go ahead and work with the employees. Hear from them on their backgrounds. What makes them feel connected to this team as a whole? As well as another way of working on a diverse team is just making sure that there are no stereotypes or biases being implemented and all employees are treated fairly regardless of any backgrounds. And for some of my information, I just wanted to call it out on here. I did go ahead and use our course textbook. I will add a link to my YouTube page for this.